BJ hunting. I was live a few minutes ago, but nobody was in, and I was wondering if I forgot to set it as public, which I probably did. So, I'm back. So, hopefully you grabbed a coffee. And I was just saying I was putting some stuff away. I have things in bags. I'm just filling up mason jars and putting them away. Because I find with mason jars, well, A, they're easier to store, and they keep things fresher longer, even if I don't use my vacuum sealer on them. Just the lid is much better than a twist tie on a bag. This is going to fit. Ooh. Woohoo! Fit all in one jar. And I just found out a new trick that you could actually use Sharpie on mason jars, and it will come off with water and a cloth. So right on the jar. So I'm going to do this. This is navy beans. So, and see, well, it does smudge now when it's wet. Should wait till it's dry. But it's a Sharpie permanent marker. Bulk barn. You can see on my video that just uploaded today. So I have all these things I have to put away in jars. And also my kitchen exploded. That's what happens when you do a bunch of cooking. Your kitchen explodes and I didn't put stuff away. Yeah, I love my vacuum sealer, but sometimes it's issue of taking it out. If I'm going to take it out, I'm going to do a whole bunch of things. Because it's not, like, it's bulky. So, but my kitchen, I'm awful at putting, there's my, okay, yesterday I couldn't find, I had my big soy sauce here, okay, and I used it for one recipe, and I couldn't find it. It was literally on the counter, and I couldn't see it, like I'm blind to things, so I grabbed my other soy sauce. But this one, it has a big hole, so it always dribbles. Where'd this one go? And then I have this soy sauce. So that one can fit. No, that one still has to fit here. See my pressure canned chili ready to go soup. Yeah, because I was like, where did it go? I was like losing my mind yesterday. And it was like literally in front of me. I asked my daughter to look for it, Rowan, who has sight, right? I'm like, do you see the big jar of soy sauce? And she like looked around. No, but there's so much stuff on my counters. Okay, I'm awful at putting stuff away. So there's so much stuff on my counters that I'm like, that's what I'm doing right now, is cleaning. And putting stuff away, because I'm awful. Like, I'm great at taking the stuff out, but then I'm cooking, and then go eat, and I come back, and I literally, like, ugh, I'm too tired to put away. So I'm doing that now. So yesterday, I took pecans, I have to write on them, and put them in jars. I got a big bag at Costco, and I made my bread pudding with the bagels from the freezer, and pecans. I put pecans in it. Yes. Well, see, pecans are so expensive, right? And I buy them when I'm like usually around Christmas time because I do baking, but I always don't finish them. This time the bag was sealed. I opened it up and I did, and then I put the rest in two quart 1 liter jars. This one's a little bit less. This one's actually from spaghetti sauce. It's actually a mason jar servings on it. It's just a little bit smaller. Um, than the liter jars that we get the Bernardin ones. See, it's just a little bit smaller than the liter ones. So I have a liter, a quart, and a half pint or 500 ml one. Now I just gotta put the stuff away. Oops, I knocked this down a bit. Stay. Hey, Amanda! It's a video for you. I'm cleaning. You're on my stove, which is a mess. Oh, look what I have here. So, silicone muffin, but they're in the shape of butterflies. I love the silicone muffin tins. These ones I got. Oh yeah, these I got at like the kitchen, one of the kitchen stores. They're normally like $12. They were on for $5.99, and then I got them for sale for $2.98. Yes, so cute. There's like 6 of them, so you don't have to put. So paper liners, like I buy them too, to send like first ones that I send for my kids for school, but they always stick to the muffins, and so I love the silicone. I love my silicone muffin pan, but these I thought were cute that I could put like, like individual brownies or just muffins in and bake them. But yeah, they're bakeable. So June, you'll be seeing a lot of baking from me because that's what I actually really, really, really need to use up. Is I didn't do as much baking as I had planned at Christmas, and now that my kids are in high school, there's not bake sales, right? Um, or that I bake, like, because when they were in public school, like in elementary school, there was like a bake sale every 2 months. So I bought like cake mixes that would be quick, and I buy them when they're $1. Exactly, and more frugal. You don't have to. They're reusable. Um, but the thing is that I have all this baking stuff, and my kids like baking stuff. But see, I can't bake too much because then I'll eat it, or my family won't eat it. So either they'll have like a bit and then they forget about it, or they don't want it again. So I either have to bake it and freeze it, like bake it, have it once, and then freeze it. I just have to figure out. So my family's picky in that they don't like things left over. So I'm like, a fork and a knife that was still on the stove from last night that was making supper. Oh, another fork. I was clearing off the stove. Here. So my daughter's job is to empty the dishwasher. She empties it, but she always, always leaves like 1 or 2 things. So this is what she left in there. I'm like, I kind of created the problem too. So of always kind of cooking new new foods and freezing leftovers. and trying new recipes that my family is used to that type of cooking. So when I was writing down their family favorites, it's all elaborate meals. Like it's not. Well, my husband does um, like hamburger helper, but I always have to put more pasta than um, than the than just the boss because he likes. So okay, I'm gonna be doing this. I've got lots of spices, as you know. And I picked, did you see my bulk barn haul? I bought a whole bunch more spices, which I put in here, which now I have to put in other stuff. Woohoo! I watched, this morning, as I was waiting for my daughter to get ready, I watched, a video from Creative Redundancy, and I watched Food Forest Permaculture this morning, his live stream I missed on Sunday because I was at supper at my in-laws. Asking. No, that was before. That was not part of the $50. That was last week, so I just haven't gotten around to doing it. I will comment. I'll respond to that. I'm just uploading the video. I mean, I could possibly like. I guess that was last. It was bought before the 31st, so. But I needed some spices to go with some. Well, I ran out. Like, when have you ever seen me out of cayenne? Like completely out. No, actually, what's funny? So my grocery budget is like if you saw my grocery haul for May 31st, there's a description. My grocery budget is $400 to $450 every 2 weeks. So on average, it's $800 to $900 a month, right? Well, May we got 3 paychecks, so there was technically $1,200 to use. But for April and May, there was 2 times. So I did grocery haul twice in April, but like one at the beginning of the month and one at the end of the month. And I only did groceries twice in May, like the 16th and the 31st. But the 16th was 3 weeks since the last groceries. So there's actually 2 grocery hauls where it was 3 weeks instead of 2 weeks. So I even had extra money. That's why I went above the one in the 16th. I had the money. And I did 500. And then the one May 31st, I did 520 or whatever. But I took out some of the, to come, some of, because it was 580 or something, I took some things out that were not grocery stuff, but my kids were with me and we had bought stuff at Costco, like bras and stuff, that aren't part of the grocery budget. But since we were there, I used the grocery budget. So that gets replenished. But, but, so with that, I spent about $500. So I spent about $1,000 for May. But I had still $1,200. Well, have fun cutting the grass, BJ Hunton. Hopefully you come back and you'll see if I'm still on. So I still had just under $200 extra from last month. So I was actually under budget. So I was like, woohoo! I thought I was over budget. But then I looked at the paychecks and I'm like, oh, we got paid like on the 2nd, I think it was. And then like the 5th, the 16th, and then the 31st or whatever, the 30th, whatever. So my husband gets paid on Wednesdays. So, and that's how come I do my groceries on Wednesday or Thursday. usually. So, oh yeah, I want my little funnel. Well, I look in my drawer here for. So, oh yeah, my other muffin tin. I think you've seen this before when I made the egg bakes. Well, exactly. So you get paid 3 times for June. That's what I was gonna say. Somebody else was saying, either on my channel or somebody else, that May was a long month. That seemed. I'm like, well, actually, it was a short month for me because we actually got 3 pays, so we actually have extra. But people, like, if we have 3 pays in May, other people have 3 pays in June because there's twice a year or so that you get 3 pays, and it works out. We usually get 3 pays now. We get 3 pays in December usually. So there's usually like 1 pay just before the New Year, and then there's 1 just before Christmas, and then there's 1 at the beginning of the month. Just the way that it works. Well, that's good. That happens on different months. When my husband and I, we were both working, it happened the same month, um, all the time. That we were like, oh, we have this money, and then the next one we're like, what happened? Because, he was much better. That's why he handles the money, not me. I handle my grocery budget and I play with it. Because I like to challenge myself versus having to remember to pay all the bills at all different times and stuff. Because he has it down like a science. Oh, where is my funnel? I should have my canning funnels, but not. Where's my little funnel? Do. Oh, no. Oh yeah, and I have some star-shaped silicone muffin tins. Where's the other ones? I won't put them all together. I was going to get a container to put them all in, so when I want to do muffins, I could do some in those or my muffin tins. I'm going to be making some, I think, banana muffins today or tomorrow, because I have all those bananas. Hey, E-Dog dude, how's it going? I handle our bills, but I enjoy it. Yeah, see, I don't like handling bills. Oh well, I'll just figure it. There's the cayenne. So yeah, my cayenne's completely up. Eric McCollum. Hi, Eric McCollum. How's it going? I'm restocking my spices from the stuff I got at Bulk Barn here in Canada. I don't know if you have a Bulk Barn. Yeah, so Bulk Barn is great for spices. For other things, it's good to try a new product because you can get like a cupful or whatever. But honestly, the price of the stuff per 100 grams or like you can get like brown rice or flax, like I picked up flaxseed. It's not better to get flaxseed usually there unless it's on sale than Costco. But if you don't have a Costco membership, it is better usually. But things like you can get pasta and pasta shapes, but you're paying by the 100 grams, right? If you want to do a minimalist lifestyle, you can bring your mason jars there. They weigh them. You can fill it up, put the lid on, and then they weigh them again, and you pay the difference. So they just started that program this year. But you have to be kind of organized to do that. Like, for example, look here. So I filled up my cayenne. I have this much left to do another whole jar of cayenne. And I paid, what, 30 cents or something? So I'm going to put that away. Oh, chili. Where's the chili powder? Well, hold on. It's more of lazy of, okay, I'd have to remember to bring stuff, weigh it for the specific ones. And so sometimes if I don't go to Bulk Barn, I'll get the name brand spices in the bag. Usually like from Food Basics. I get them when they're on sale for like $1. So $1's not too bad because they're like 100 grams. So a penny gram, but it's cheaper at Bulk Barn. So this is much cheaper. You pay $1 for this because this is more than what the jars weigh. And at like the dollar store, the jars weigh at the dollar store because I've looked at that, and they weigh about 60 to 75 grams. So even with this bag, I still have enough for another time. Like for example, I'm gonna find a jar from the dollar store because I do buy those too when I'm there sometimes. So this one from the dollar store is 153 grams, but it's mostly salt. It's a salt, garlic, salt, pepper seasoning. You know, it's $1.25, so it's even more, like it's just under a penny a gram. Oh yeah, so this I got, so I did the Epicure, a couple things, and this was a Greek street salad dressing seasoning, and you mix it with olive oil and vinegar. There's the recipe there. I picked up, so this from Epicure was like $6 or more. It was part of like a kit thing. I think the kit was like $10, and it had this and a few other Greek things, like a souvlaki blend. But I have a Greek salad dressing seasoning. I'm just going to put in there. So I paid under $1 for it. I'm like, so I'm just reusing the jars. So there's my chili. Where's the dollar store ones? Okay. That's not the dollar store ones. Where? Like usually, like I sometimes will get basil or something. That's not tomato. I usually only buy seasonings. Exactly. So, like for example, I picked up what's an expensive spice. Not marjoram. Mace. Okay, so a bag of mace or a jar of mace at the store was like something like $10. Okay, I picked up mace there for maybe $1 for like a scoop to fill up a jar. I don't use it often because it's used in like a couple of recipes. But mace is like expensive spice. I don't know. Same. Well, saffron is more expensive at the Bulk Barn. It's about the same price at the grocery store. I get my saffron at the Asian market for like $2. Like I'll show you my saffron jar. Oh, I need my claw because I'm short. See, I don't use my saffron, so I have to use my claw to get it, because it's way at the top. So, see how much saffron I got? It filled, well, this is the leftover after I've used it a few times. It fills up Hunter's peanut jar. Okay, I paid, I think it was $3 for a bag of saffron. Saffron, I get at Bulk Barn or at the grocery store. It's like $5 an ounce. Okay, that's like 2 tablespoons. Exactly. Hi, Tropical Aquariums. Yes, this is great on rice and makes like a nice yellow rice. And you don't have to use much. That's why it lasts forever. But check out your Asian. If you're ever in near a city that has an Asian store and you like using saffron, check out the Asian stores because you can get so much cheaper. Or if they have an Indian store, you can get so much cheaper than your grocery store. Okay, because saffron, like, yes, it's hand picked, and I know why it's expensive because it's hand picked, and these are like the little pollen parts of like a chrysanthemum or whatever, some sort of flower. I don't know. So it's hand picked, so you can't send a machine to do it because it would just ruin it. But check out the Asian store. Um, it makes things yellow. So like there's not much spice to it. It's basically a coloring type thing. It adds a little something, but it's not spicy. Like you see this often in like Mexican dishes and like ethnic foods like a yellow rice. You'll see this spice because it's quite popular. Like if you go down there, and fragrance, yeah, it has a fragrance. Like it's kind of like if you've ever had chai tea, there's all the fragrance of the spices with the black tea. So it's like it adds something. I don't know what to but for $6 for an ounce, you use like that in a recipe, or that's an expensive spice. So get it. Check out Asian markets. You can get some really good deals. So, and that's what I'm doing today, is restocking all my different spices. So those are done. The cayenne and the chili. Well, that's why you find a recipe and you're like, oh, I'd like to do that. And then you're like, oh, I don't have that spice. That's Italian. Where's the Greek one? Well, I think it's out there. I'll be right back. So here's the Greek seasoning. And I'm just going to fill up into the Epicure Greek jar here. As I said, I bought this as part of a kit. I think it was $10 for the kit, but the spice jar itself was, I think, $6. Well, I just picked up the Greek seasoning at bulk store for under $1. Might have been $1. You could make it yourself by finding what there's seasoning mixes on online, like you can find on Pinterest, and it fills this jar almost halfway. Chronic regional pain syndrome. Oh, that sucks. Is that kind of like chronic fatigue syndrome too? Hi, 42 Brad Action. My friend has a pain syndrome thing. She's constantly in pain. I don't know what it's called, but she has to take meds for it, and some of the meds don't. They kind of take the edge off. Like someone has shouldering. Yeah, and my friend, she has this hyper flexibility thing, so like her body stretches more than it should, but she doesn't know it until she stretches. Like she's dislocated her shoulder before, or just doing things like she'll bend or whatever. She's more careful now, but as when she was younger, like she could easily pull, like twist her ankle, and just by walking, like not even on uneven pavement. It's like take meds for it. Got too messed up. Just trying to deal. Not dealing at the moment. Oh. That sucks. Let's see. That sucks. I've heard great things about um, hemp and the medical marijuana stuff. Not the stuff that makes you, it's good for pain. Like there's different things that's high and there's different, like it's good for pain, but not for getting you um, feeling high. Yes, Mary Jane, thank you. But medical stuff, you know, and like oils and stuff like that. So that seems to counteract that type of pain, those pain receptors. See, yeah, yeah, because there's HTC and CBD. There's a whole bunch of letters, and there's no vowels. I'm like, what? Well, it's going to so in Canada, it's going to be legal. I think this month or next month is the part for that doesn't exactly that part. So it's hard to get. My friend, um, I have a friend that orders it through um, the medical uh, dispensaries, but it's sometimes hard to get just high CBD and no HTC or whatever the letters are, because she doesn't want that feeling because she has to still function. So, you know, and that's what, you know, that's where it gets a bad rep. So I think that it should be regulated, but just like cigarettes and alcohol. So they is for epilepsy. THC is the pain one. Okay, but illegal here. Okay, THC. Well, there's one. So here it's legal. There's whichever one for the pain. Um, but there's one that does, but there's one that's low just for pain, but not to get you high. So it's good for the pain, but not the, because there's another factor. Well, that's legal here. You can get a prescription for, but soon it's going to be legal for the recreational stuff too. Oh, there's rosemary. See, I bought spices that I knew I was out of, like my rosemary. It's completely gone. And I bought it. Where'd it go? Yeah, this I paid, I think, was 30 cents. Anti-convolucent. Okay. See, I don't know the technical. New Zealand? Are you New Zealand? NZ? Is that New Zealand? I have a friend who's in New Zealand. She's actually from Canada too. She went to New Zealand for university and met her husband, and they live in Christchurch, where the and their house had to get had to get redone because of the earthquakes. Can't. Look, I was so close at estimating. Oh, I might be able to get that in there. If I don't spill it all. No. So close. Yet so far. Yes, it was massive there. It was, her house had cracks. There was the sand coming up. And they still, you know, and she, at the time, her son was like 1 or maybe less. So, and they're still, like, they literally just got their house like a year ago, their new house. So they were still able to, their house wasn't condemned, but was not, part of their house they weren't allowed to be in. But in the wintertime, it had cracks in it that the wind would come in. And just dealing with insurance, it's been a pain, a pain in the butt. See, my dill was low. The beach came about 7 meters in places that there was seaweed and rocks way up in the air. Yes. Exactly. There's my dill. Yeah, see, this dill was from my dill plant last year. So I know I bought way too much of dill, but I love dill in the summertime, making fresh dill pickles, and even using it in my kosher pickles. Yeah, I haven't started planting my garden. I've been bad. I have them. I have a whole bunch of seeds. Oh, that's not great. Where'd the... Where'd it go? So now I have enough for another jar at least. Seeds on dill always grow too. Dogs. Yes, dogs are like 2-year-olds. So are teenagers sometimes. Oh, paprika. Oh, some parsley. Is empty. Cool. Yeah, here in Canada, I think pit bulls are illegal now to breed them because of all the things. Okay, I should move my coffee. I'm getting like parsley and stuff in my coffee, which I don't recommend, by the way. I'll still drink it. My grenade pause. Well, yeah. So that's the thing. They said something about breeding pit bulls in. I think it's either in Canada or just Ontario. I'm unsure. Because of all the problems. Now, if you have them, they're not putting them down, but it's illegal to breed them anymore here. And it's not because of the dogs, which I don't understand why they're doing that, because it's the owners, you know. If your dog goes and bites somebody, you're not you've trained it to do that. It's not the dog's fault. What's grenade paws? Are they like big paws? So I got well, that's the other thing is that, and sometimes the people that get bit by these dogs were not being very kind to the dogs, or, you know, went up to a strange dog without without identifying themselves or without asking. So sometimes they're like not asking for it, but or it's like, well, you don't go up to a strange dog without knowing if the dog is safe or friendly, I should say, not safe. Not training mine to be aggressive. However, someone jumped fence. Well, yeah, if they jump on shit, they go on your property. Yes, exactly. It's like, what do you expect? Okay, well. Big mess. Okay, parsley is really hard to pour into a jar. Now it's full. And look how much more parsley. I've got like 2 jars. I don't think I have to get any more spices for the rest of the summer. Well, of these ones. Well, that's kind of their job, is to be barky, right? Yes, I was just trying to look for my funnel, and I can't seem to find my funnel. I can only find my canning funnel, which is not helpful at all. The hole is bigger than my jars. And with the funnel, I could have a funnel. As I said, my kitchen's a mess, so... And my daughter's been putting stuff away. And, like my pumpkin spice seasoning was put in the bottom, like not even with my spices. I need to make some more of that, but not right now. Yes, funnel is a funny word. Oh, sage. Oh, I did have some sage. Well, I bought more sage because I thought I didn't have sage. Well, I don't have much. But where did I just put it? Allspice. Oh no, I bought rub saged. That's why. This is ground sage. I need another jar. I might need a new jar. Yeah, I don't know where my funnel is. I can't find my funnel. So I have some rub sage now, which is yummy for stuffing or just chicken in general. Okay, I will put it in here. Gotta get the gas before work. No, try and drive on empty. Do you ever play that game with your gas tank of going, oh yeah, I've got another 20 miles to go, or I'll see how far empty goes. Oh. Oh, aquarium time. What time is it in New Zealand? Oh, yeah, it's 16 minutes. Well, that's not bad. But you work you work in another state, right? 2 a.m. Wow. Hey, Josh L, how's it going? Wow, 2 a.m. Well, hopefully I'm entertaining you at least a little bit. Cleaning my kitchen and filling up my spices. I'm like, oh, may as well. There we go. It would be 2 a.m. on Wednesday for her, because they're ahead, I believe. Yep. I was just cleaning in my kitchen. My recent video, I should talk about my bulk barn stuff, which I still haven't put away, which I bought last week. So I have some time this morning, and I'm just filling up my jars of spices so that it's difficult doing it, finding the time to do it. And if you're going to make a mess, you're going to make a mess for a whole bunch. So, I got these big labels. I have a big roll. I've had it for like at least 8 years. A friend of mine got it from an auction, and she's like, "Oh, you use them. You use them for marking bags and stuff when I'm giving stuff away, or that labeled bags of what size they are." Time to take meds. Yes, it's that fine line. You have to take the minimum amount of meds. My chores are done for a bit. Awesome. What chores did you do? Now, where'd my marker go? Oh, that's not great. Right here, sage. Feeding animals, throwing salt blocks for horses, or for just, yeah. Oh, sage. Cattle and horses. Cool. I'll go this way. Small jars. I'll be right back. I'm back. Oh, I'm filling up the spices that I got my video I uploaded. I got last week. Because I have all these now spices. Now I need to put them in the jars so that they take up less room, and I can actually use them and know what's in them. Cool. Just mixture. Whoops. Stay. To lift the camera up. It seems like it's always pointing. Silly. Then you, because otherwise you're seeing just the stuff down here, even if it was there. You know, you'd just be seeing either my hands or my face. So at least it's my. Well, that's just the cupboard. Not quite the ceiling, but. Yes, I need to get a tripod. I need to get a part for my. I picked up. I got my daughter a tripod for her camera, but it needs a part to go on the tripod to hold your phone, because it has a thing for that. But I have to go look online and see. Oops. Oh. Okay. I'm making a mess. Yes. Also need a funnel. Is the. Oh, it's because that's a. Here. Is that a bit better? It's the stove light. Yes, okay. Thank you. I did not know. I thought it was better to have the light on. Now, that's my chia seeds, which is super yummy. A quick and easy, like, pudding, healthy pudding, is you take some chia seeds and some coconut milk and sweetener, or sugar if you want sugar, and you put it in a bowl and let it sit, and it expands. It's like tapioca. I don't get my food to get freezer to get dry, but okay, fair enough. Well, that's what I'm doing for June. Is I'm doing a low spend month, so I'm using up what we have, trying to eat out of the um, fridge and freezer and pantry. I have enough food. I'm allowing myself about $50 a week. Hopefully, I can do it less than that. I still only going to probably shop twice a month, anyways. So $100 every 2 weeks or every fortnight, um, and that way it'll just be replenishing the fresh fruit, vegetables, kids' snacks of milk, bread, deli meat, maybe. You know, I'm hoping to use. I used up a bag of the bagels that were in my freezer, that were dry. I made bread pudding. Oh, I can show you that. We have it in the leftovers. I put in containers in the fridge. But we didn't want dessert after chili last night. Everybody loved the chili that I got from the freezer. So yeah, so there's bread pudding with pecans and the raisins. So I have like 3 containers of this in the fridge. But my fridge is still packed. It's been a week since I did groceries and my fridge is still packed. Yes, that's my goal. Maybe I could try. There will be things I have to pick up because my family wants them, and I'll have to pick up Coke when I run out, Coke Zero, because my husband, that is what he drinks when he's at home, and I drink it too. So for us, it is a staple. I'm gonna clean this. I have also spiced ones that are magnetic, but they're here. I've been cooking a lot. My stove thingy is all dirty. Yeah, I think they're show horses, I think. I don't know, but does your stove range thing get all messy too? We stopped buying pop or anything in the house. I missed it a lot at first. Yeah, well, so my husband last year for his birthday, we got him a soda stream, to make his own pop. And that, but we still have to buy syrup or the canisters. Um, and he likes that too, but we like to have Coke Zero. It's a thing that we have in the house. I get the 6, as you see in my grocery hauls. I pay $2 to $3 for 6 bottles of it, so it's not too bad. It's a cool term, means 2 weeks. Yep. That became old and isn't used as much as it should be. Today's election. Thursday is election day here in Ontario for our provincial premier, which the running for that is kind of like how your U.S. election was, and on my Facebook I post. I'm like, some people are like they don't like all the 2 major. We have Liberal and Conservative, and then we have NDP, which is National Democratic Party. It's like also kind of semi-liberal. It's kind of in the middle. And then there's like a new one that some groups agree, which is environmental. But nobody likes. It's always usually between liberal and PC, progressive conservatives. The NDP is, in some ridings, but we've only had them come into power in Ontario once, and then they came into power, but they did a lot of good of putting in programs in at community centers and healthcare, like starting up new like mental health programs and all that stuff. But those things cost money, right? So they increased our debt. Um, so people didn't like that. But I'm like, they were things that were cut out from before, and we needed to replace them. Anyways, nobody likes the two parties, or the majority of people don't like the two parties, and people are like, oh, I'm just not going to vote. And I said, well, a lot of people didn't vote in the U.S. election, and they didn't think Trump would get in, and he got in, right? So all I'm saying to people is just vote. Vote for however you want, Vote for who you think will do best for you, or for your community, or for your area, or whatever, But not voting or wrecking your ballot to make a statement is only hurting you. Is only hurting whoever can convince more people to go out and vote, whether they're going to vote for them or not, who's going to win. So your duty as a person is to vote. The democratic duty. Otherwise, go live in a country where you don't have democracy. Have no. It's just primary. Okay, is that for? I see. I don't know. You guys have different terms. Is that for like the head of your um, party? So we have municipal, which is for our local community, and then we have we have local, which is our local community. Municipal, which is for like Canada. There's like two, and then there's uh, provincial, which we also have local representatives, and then we have federal. And then we have Senate, but I don't think we vote for those guys. I don't know. Our Senate is different than your Senate. Okay, because I'm like, I'm just going to find the charging cord for my phone, because it will probably need it soon. I'll be right back. Yeah, because people just need to vote. Oh, just a second, I got a message here. Oh, I'll come back. They just need to vote. Plug in the... Sorry. Okay. The primary run against each other in the general election. Oh, okay. And is that for for the head of the party? Why is this not standing? Vote for only Democrats in primary. Okay. Oh, okay. Cool. Yes. Sorry. I'm having difficulty. Why this is not standing. It's not listening to me. Card. See, it's keep on sliding. Why is it doing that? Just bear with me, please, as I try and figure out something else. do 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 do. Oh, I know. That has something to grab it. Here. Okay. It will stay now. It's called MacGyvering. So now I have to figure out some of these spices. A southern pork rub. Put that in a itty bitty jar. So are you tired? I'm here. Yeah, so so do you go and vote for your party? See, so for here, like, you have to be a registered member to vote for your party, which I don't do because sometimes my loyalties change depending on who's the head of the party and who has the best policy. So I kind of switch between a couple of parties. So you have to be. So I'm registered to vote, but I'm not registered for any party. So I can't necessarily it, and then, but I can vote for who I want into my area, like my local area or whatever, or provincial or federal. The last time was federal, which Trudeau got in. He's Liberal, and in our area, in Ontario, it was Liberal. But I think it's going to be a swing to Conservative, or I'm hoping more for NDP, because NDP is still liberal-ish, so that, because the Conservatives are talking about cutting. Last time Conservatives were in power in Ontario, a lot of our hospitals services got cut and wait times increased, and they cut cut a whole bunch of things, of programs that were beneficial to a lot of people, and did not like that. Southern pork rub, because a lot of things just messed up, and a lot of our doctors and nurses actually went south to the US to work there. So then we don't have enough doctors and nurses in our hospitals as it is. So more than they should, because our doctors and nurses get enticed to work in the States where they would get paid more because they're working at hospitals that are for profit, versus our hospitals are funded by the province and federal. Sure, if you can register here without registering. Okay. Yeah, so so here they have like a convention. The way that works here, so say for example for the leader of the party for provincial and leader of the party for federal. Okay, they'll have a conservative convention one weekend or whatever. They will send out the ballot. So people, you pay money, I think, to register, like something like $25 or something like that for a party. So if you always want to be conservative, you vote for conservative. So you can have who can be the head of your party, and you can go to the convention, and then you can vote for the head of your party for provincial, head of your party for federal. Yes. um, and then once that is chosen, then um, like they might have two conventions, one's for provincial, one's for federal. Then everybody just votes. Like everybody's registered to vote. Everybody who's over 18 is registered to vote. They have to make money here because the school loans for most doctors are insane. Oh yeah, for sure. Well, the school loans here in Canada are insane too. Well, here they make a decent. So here in Canada, you make a decent living as a doctor or nurse, a lawyer or whatever. Um, you um, but our hospitals. So in the States, from what I gather, there are some hospitals that are more prestigious than others, and they work on being clientele or famous people, like players and stuff like that, and they get better service or more customizable service. Hospitals. I mean, you could hire a private physician or whatever, but you still be working in the regular hospital where they serve everybody, um, whether you're rich or poor. Always like to vote in elections because then, um, but here a doctor makes minimum $100,000 a year, but usually at least $200,000 or $300,000 a year, depending on what their practice is. If they're in the hospital, and that could be even more. If they have their own private practice, like a family doctor, um, they make about the same too. Usually, it's better for doctors to get together as a group and set up a clinic so all these doctors are available. So they only have to pay one rent, one couple of like secretaries or office admins or whatever, a couple of nurses that can work with multiple doctors, right? Because then they when they see a patient, they bill the Ministry of Health, say whatever, $50 to see the patient. We don't pay that. Okay, so every patient that the doctor sees, whether they see them for an hour or 5 minutes, they get billed a certain amount of money, right? If there's other tests and other type of um, things, like if they have to do a physical exam takes at least half an hour, 45 minutes. So they get paid more by the Ministry of Health. So they get paid whatever once a month, or I don't know what their payment is. So they can make a decent amount of, if they have longer hours, they can see more patients. If they have more doctors, the more doctors can see more patients, and then they pay the staff and stuff like that. It doesn't matter if the patient's poor or rich. So, and that's how it works here. But the thing is, if in the smaller communities, like where I live, I literally just got a family doctor. I have people who don't have a family doctor because they just go to the clinics. So you can still go to the clinics, like the walk-in clinics, but you don't have a family doctor. Um, because they're not taking more patients because they can only physically handle so many patients, but there's not many doctors going into family practice because they want to do stuff like surgery or pediatrics or whatever. Like same with being a pediatrician, you could charge more to the ministry as well. Which spaces are next? Okay. Yep. Sorry, got sidetracked. I'm going to try my Italian. I have Italian jar somewhere. No, that one's basil. See, I'm actually out of basil, and I might have basil in one of my other bins, but that's not one. I have to find my Italian spice jar, because I know I'm out. Because last time I made something that needed Italian spices, I just winged it with the spices I had that I knew were in an Italian spice mix. Arg. Actually, that's dry basil. That's from my basil plant last year. I'll just put that in my basil jar. So I was like, I think that's my basil. So basil, get the last bit out. Oh, cleaning up here. Right. Oh, I don't know if I picked up Chinese spice. I saw that jar empty. So you grab the coffee. I'm going to grab more coffee. Coffee. Is there more cream in here? Or do I have to go downstairs? Erg. I have to go downstairs. Here, you can come with me. There's only one watching. I guess it's only me. I guess. Well, hopefully others will come in. You have a private session with me. Now I just go downstairs to get the cream. Because I finished up the cream I had this morning. Hey Amanda, well, how come it says only one here? Apparently YouTube can't count. Hey Google, turn on the lights. Oh. Yes. Yay. Cream. I have to reset the hue. I think we had a power outage. That thing's personal. It's on. Yes, I have to set up the hue, the controlling for the lights. I think we had a power out with the rain we had yesterday. So it reset things. So I have to go on my phone and turn on the app or whatever. Because I know my Google up here didn't like listening to me this morning, so. I know. There we go. Most important thing, cream. I got all these things like you want forgetting to put lids and stuff on. Recycling. love my mason jars. Best thing for dinner last night. Very quick and easy too. Ooh, what do you make? I will need to put chocolate chips on my list of things to buy. A poor man's stroganoff. Okay, with ground beef. I should. Where's my paper paper? I need scrambled ground beef instead of. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I do that with stroganoff. Yeah, it's cheaper that way. And my family doesn't mind. Actually, they actually sometimes prefer stroganoff with ground beef than with pieces of beef. I'm just going to get my list thing to write down. Before I forget. While I'm doing stuff, or put on my list for when I do my haul next time, so that I only get what I need. Ooh, tried to. How did you do the gravy? So my list so far: basil and chocolate chips, because I have some basil, but not as much as I want. There we go. It's on my fridge. Yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Cream and mushroom soup several weeks ago. I made with tuna. I saw it sitting on the shelf next to it. Okay. Cool. I put cream and mushroom soup in gravy before too. Also, I've a new thing I found that is super yummy. I got it at Costco. I don't know. You can get it at I've seen it at the grocery store too, but this is like instant gravy. This whole bag costs like $4 instead of those little individual envelopes, and it's the same stuff, and it's really good gravy. But that way, if I don't have enough juices to make fresh, like fresh gravy, is that where's my cloth cup? Okay. I looked at that cuts out 2 steps about making the beef broth in it. Yep. Exactly. I was driving, so I had to be silent. No problem. We don't mind your silent stalking type. Oh, this doesn't go in here. Erg. Doo -doo -doo. Oh, I know what it's doing. So, one of my grocery hauls before I picked this up, the Graham Marsala. and it's a mixture of spices for Indian things. So there's coriander, cumin, cloves, cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, cardamom, black pepper, and star anise. So you can make it yourself, or you could buy it already made. And I think it's pretty much equal parts to all those spices. My husband doesn't like stews. And he calls it a stew, even with the ground beef on it. He'll eat it, but he's not happy. I noticed that the mushrooms are in it. He likes the mushrooms, so using canned mushroom soup is the way to go. Which fills up a Hellmann's Hellmann's jar after even using it. So it's too much to fill a Hellmann's jar if you don't use some first. So see, it's completely full. And one more thing done. One's inside the salt-filled condensed soup. Yeah, I don't like mushroom, but in the soup, I can't tell they're there. So I'm fine with it. It's a texture thing. Several shakes of nutmeg. Exactly. So Swedish and Dutch. So I go to church. It's a Christian Reformed church. There's lots of Dutch people there, and one of their things that they do with their mashed potatoes is sprinkle nutmeg on it. I don't understand. It tastes good, but they put like nutmeg in soups and stuff. And I've always thought nutmeg as being a sweet dish thing, like pumpkin spice and stuff like that. But they do it in soups and in potatoes, and it does taste good. So must be same kind of hair. Call me followers. Just not late for supper, right, Amanda? I'm gonna get some small jars for my other things here. Okie dokie. Some more small mason jars. Well, the pint or 500 mils. Gonna put the butter chicken seasoning in there. And all the crumbs are in the instant gravy packet. Yes, well this one isn't that bad. Let's see. Quite cornstarch, wheat flour, plant protein, so soy, corn, modified milk ingredients, salt, sugar, dehydrated vegetables, onions, and beet, oil, color, flavors, dextrose, which is cinnamon, not cinnamon, sugar, disodium incinate, which is a salt thing, and xanthan gum to thicken, spices and spice extracts. So it's prepared in Canada. So you might not have this particular brand, but it's not. It's good to have on hand. I prefer to do it from scratch, but sometimes when you make a roast or whatever, you don't have a lot of drippings. So it's hard to get the flavor. And when I buy beef bouillon or chicken bouillon, I always try and get stuff without MSG, so there's at least not that. Because I find if I have too much stuff with MSG, it goes starch plus fat plus liquid. Yes. Yeah, so I reuse my lids. Like I used them once for canning. You could see faintly the marker on it. And I reuse them for dry ingredients because you could technically use them a couple of times, but the rubber ring, they don't guarantee it. So in a pinch, if it was like apocalypse and you can't get rings anymore, the lids, you could take your chances and try. But the lid, if it pops up, it didn't work. So you throw that out. But I tend not to try and take too many chances. So here, and also Sharpie, you could write on glass jars and it washes off. Butter, chicken, seasoning. Butter, chicken seasoning. I put that on the lid too, just in case. I don't know what it is. I'll put that in my Indian drawer. 3 tablespoons of flour. Oh, what's in this one? Okay, I'm gonna put this in a bigger jar. It's chili powder too. But the formula for perfect 3 starch. Awesome. Well, thank you. I just kind of wing it because, again, so I learned cooking on my own, completely on my own. My mom couldn't cook to save her life. Well, could cook very little, Like she burnt chicken. It was either burnt or raw. She could follow. She did good peanut butter cookies, and that's like the 3 ingredient peanut butter cookies on the Kraft peanut butter jar. The sugar, peanut butter, and I think sugar. Oh, eggs. That was it. Baked desserts. Nutmeg. A little bit of Yes, it is flavorful. Like I made like Swedish meatballs from IKEA. I make a sauce and that. My mom couldn't cook. She was not a good cook. My mom and dad were together. My dad was the cook, and he was kind of like cooks like how I do, cooking by inspiration. Would follow a recipe, sometimes, or guess measurements as you see in my videos. So I learned to cook myself because at like 6, 7, when my parents officially separated, because my mom had to work more, and we lived off of Kraft dinner with tuna, which when I was a kid I hated. Now, I don't like Kraft dinner. I like tuna, but I didn't like it combined. We'd have hamburgers, fries, and gravy. That was the only meal that she could cook really well. Like hamburgers in gravy, and fries, like in oil, and hamburger helper, which I don't like, but my husband likes. Oh, correct. Is its first name stupid? That's correct. Same as my cats. Their first name stupid. um, what else? Oh, she would do a roast about once a week, maybe. But it was always well done, and the potatoes were always like hard or crispy. Shepherd's pie and meatloaf. She tried to do but not very successfully. I hated those. Like to this day, I don't. I've made shepherd's pie once for my family, and it wasn't even my shepherd's pie. I did a freezer meal exchange with some people, and somebody else made a freezer meal of a shepherd's pie, and it was their shepherd's pie. I'm like, to the point that I've never made it for family because I really don't want to eat it. And well, I guess it would be called cottage pie because it uses ground beef, not ground lamb. And meatloaf, I've tried making meatloaf. I do my mother-in-law's recipe is actually good. Um, but um, which is actually the only meatloaf that actually I've ever enjoyed. So gravy at home because we can eat as healthy and clean as we can. Ah, but gravy's good. Gravy makes everything taste better, especially if you've overcooked something. Yes, biscuits and gravy. I've made once. I made with sausage gravy, breakfast sausage gravy. My family likes that. But again, it's not healthy. But you have to have a little bit of unhealthy to go with the carbs, and salt. Well, in meat, there's protein, but carbs are yummy. Not so great for your health, like to lose weight or anything, but like I actually love just freshly baked bread and butter. Just bread and butter. I need to get a bigger jar for my chili powder. I think the liter jar will be big enough. Because I have this chili powder, which is like falling apart. Ooh. Ah, good chili. Ah, sorry. The downside of putting a bag in a bag is that there's some powder on the bag. So when my hands are covered in chili powder, I just have to remember not to rub my face. Actually, I'm going to do the canning jar funnel for this one because it's just attacking me. There we go. Open up the hole a bit more. Huh. And the stuff that was in the bag. Whew. Okay. It's going up my nose. It's like a chili powdered dust cloud. And this stuff that fell on the counter. There we go. And then there's another chili that I had over here. Greens to make gravy, all-purpose flour. So real ingredients, yeah. It's different herbs. Always buy new lids. Oof. Okay, my nose. And that's from the other chili. So look at the two chilies. There's two different types in there. One's more darker. than the other. But, okay, I need to put the lid on this first, and then wash my hands in this, because it's making me want to sneeze. Pepper does make you want to sneeze. Chili. So I think I'm good for chili for a while. Considering it's summertime, I won't be making lots of chili. Well, I will in my Instant Pot. It was really easy to do in my Instant Pot. It didn't cause any heat in the house. I'm gonna wipe this up here. And then go wash my hands. Because I'm like covered. I'm not the fastest person doing these things. That's for sure. I don't have the equipment for it, can I? If you can water bath can in a pot, any pot, that can hold your jars, whatever jars you have, with 2 inches of water above it. So if you have the small jar, so any of your stock pots, like if you could put the canning, so you can either put a dishcloth at the bottom, or you take a bunch of the rings together on the bottom, like you could use twist ties and make a base. You put that on it. You put the thing in, whatever, that you can water bath can. But you have to make sure you only water bath can things that you can water bath can. So you can't can meat, or the only thing you can do is tomatoes of the vegetables. You could can jams and pickles. Anything with vinegar based, and anything with sugar, like jams. My pots are not big enough. I have no space. What do you cook your pasta in? Like a big pot, or make a big pot of soup? Because you don't have to buy a canning pot for that. Where is my Italian jar? I'm losing my mind. Oh, I should put the lemon pepper in the lemon pepper jar. Oh, my nose is still... garlic pepper. No. Excuse me. There. That's what I needed to do. I needed to sneeze the peppers out of my nose. I know I have an Italian jar. More Italian seasoning. Oh, I will put them in a mason jar, because I know I go through Italian seasoning like sugar. Yeah, well, no, fair enough. No, I was just trying to say, if you have a large pot, you don't have to buy extra things. That's when you find a friend who has a pot, and you can with them. It's always fun to can with other people too. And it's cheaper. So making jam, if you can get your fruit for cheap, or free, if free better, is cheaper to make jam than to buy it. If you can't get it to do free or cheap, then it's about the same cost as buying jam, but it tastes better. Oh, true. But I was just kind of like, um, if you buy the stuff, you could always make it too. You can always do small. Yeah, you don't even with jam, you don't have to even can it. You could make small batches, individual jars, and just put it in your fridge. Italian seasoning. I actually got through a lot of it. Last time I picked up a big, huge thing of curry powder at Costco. It was cheaper. Well, no, because it wasn't cheaper. It was because I needed curry powder. So usually I buy it like this. But when I go for, like, when I make curry, like my spice jars are like this size roughly, I use like half a spice jar for curry. So, and you could make your own curry spice. There's recipes online. You just have to find it's turmeric and cardamom and stuff like that. I just blend it. But I just like buying it. I just like buying it already pre-made. It's just easier. There's a few things. Because see, curry has just the spices: turmeric, red pepper, dehydrated onions, cumin. Oh, okay. So do you have it floor to ceiling cupboards? Yeah, so I normally write out the whole week or fortnight, 2 weeks of meal plans from what I bought. Um, I'm trying something a little bit different. I'm trying to get, so my family has said that they haven't had some of the recipes that they like. So I'm telling them, fine, tell me what recipes you like so that I can um, put them in my plan. And then I buy those things regularly. So usually I purchase stuff on sale, and then afterwards I'll do my meal plan. I still haven't done my meal plan for this month. I try to do like a aim for a month, meals of stuff from my freezer. I can go grab that. I can do it anytime. Seeds. Apparently I can't spell seeds. I tried to do seeds SEAD. I'm like, that's not right. Yeah, it's making chia seeds. I'll go and I'll show you what of the things I can easily do. So I put these with my baking from the stuff in my freezer. Back. So here's the list of the stuff that's in my freezer. that's just easy meals. I have 15. So there's porcage roll. I can do 2 dumpling meals. I wrote it twice. Asian soup, ham soup, pasta e fagioli, lamb chops, baked macaroni and cheese with ham, kofta, conch salad, pizza bites, stuffed chicken times 2. Well, actually, it's 1 now because 1 meal. We're having that tonight. Chili, and that was supposed to be times 2, but now it's just times 1 because we had chili last night from the freezer. I added some more beans too. Beef pot pie. We still have 1 more beef pot pie. So I had the beef pot pie filling, made 2 beef pot pies. I have 1 in the freezer now because we ate 1. We weren't too fond of the filling, so I made this as a like a freezer meal, one of those ones back in September or October, whenever I wrote on the bag. And I froze it. I must have, and didn't like it. So I'm not going to make beef pot pie again. So once this beef pot pie is done, I'm not making another one. It just didn't turn out well. The seasonings or it just didn't. My family does like chicken pot pie. So I will make pot pie again. And then I have faux soup. So these are all just, I know I have all these in my freezer from doing my basement freezer list and my fridge freezer list. I did not do the list from my big deep freezer because it would involve me taking everything out and trying to list it all out. And I just can't do that. It's summertime, everything would defrost, and that kind of defeats the purpose of stuff. So now all these little bags I'm going to give to my mother-in-law for pooping scooping. Yeah, so I like to, I'll write it out on my calendar. I'll do that tonight. I will write it out for the rest of the month. I write on the calendar. I leave a couple of days for leftovers. I'm going to leave some, well, unless my husband tells me what he wants while I'm away, because next week I'm away Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday night. So I'm going to help a friend move. So those 3 days I'll be gone. So I'm going to figure out what he wants for those 3 days, and I'll put them on the calendar. And I'll make it. Or I'll have it ready for my daughter to make it. Or something that he can make, just because I haven't set up this new stove that we've had for him to do successfully. He could probably do it, but I haven't just set it up and spent time to show him how to use it. So my daughter knows how to use this stove, so he does know how to do the microwave or the toaster oven. So allspice. I have allspice, paprika. Yeah, I have a paprika jar somewhere. And Chinese 5. Oh, I have 5 spice somewhere. Put the oregano away. Chinese spice. Barbecue. Dill. Parsley. Oh yeah, remember I was telling you about the expensive spice mace? That was like 1 scoop. That was like $1 or whatever at the bulk barn a while ago. I use it for like one recipe. But buying mace in the McCormick's thing is like $10. It's expensive spice. I'm like, I don't understand why. YouTube gave me no notification once more again. Oh, I'm here. Hey, Tom. We were doing spices. I'm down for my video this morning. I'm down to 4 things to put away. I did the shop last week, and I haven't put the stuff away yet. They've been sitting in a bin to be done, but they haven't been a priority until now. Hey, get to the farm. How's it going? I don't know. I tried to, I had saved your playlist, your rhubarb playlist, and it allowed me to save it, but it wouldn't allow me to upload. It was just very weird. Woohoo! It's a party in here. Make sure you grab your coffee. My coffee has a few seasoning droppings in it because I'm filling up spice jars. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But I don't know what that is. Yes, she had me all to herself. Okay. My nose is still crazy from the chili powder that exploded. Oh, there's my white pepper. I need to fill this one up because it's completely out. Vanilla extract and what? Oh, my coffee. Oh, I could probably do that, but vanilla extract's expensive. So, I am so lucky I buy stuff in multiples. You know why? Because my vanilla, where is it? I just used it. There. So my vanilla from Costco, I bought, I guess 2 years ago, I think I bought 3 of them at Christmas time because it was more of like, oh, I'm baking, I need vanilla. And I forgot I bought vanilla. Oh, I'm baking, I need vanilla. Need to make sure. So I bought like 3 of them 2 years ago. They were like $9.99 or $12.99 because they've got, I think I bought one at that point, right? Last year, vanilla was up to $24.99. Now it's $38.99 at Costco. $38.99 for real vanilla extract. I'm like, I can buy a bottle of vodka and the vanilla beans for $38 and make a liter of vanilla. So I still have 3/4 of a bottle of real vanilla. Then last year when we were on vacation, we bought some alcohol and stuff, and they threw in vanilla blanca from Dominican. Now it's extract. I don't think it's real vanilla extract. I'm unsure. It says organic, 100% natural white vanilla, but I can't read Spanish, so I can't Tomanero por cerveza, but doesn't say the ingredients. It just says how much vitamins and things are in here and how much calories. So, but we got it free when we bought some alcohol. I'm like, okay, even if it's not the real stuff and it's the fake stuff, it will be fine. Oh yes, I was making pepper. I was like trying to do, what was I doing? I love these spice jars. They're magnetic. And they have like either a big hole or a little hole. A time of extra. I pour it into the cap first. Yes, I do that too. Usually the cap is about a teaspoon. But when you're baking, can you really add too much vanilla? You can add too much vanilla in your drinks. I'm not a big vanilla. I like vanilla in baking, but like, and vanilla ice cream. Still have more white pepper. But a vanilla latte or that, I'm like, yeah, it's fine. There we go. Now my pepper's all done. Now I've got my garlic. Only problem is they're sometimes hard to open. Hey, get to the farm. Are you going to do another live stream of games? Because I went to your channel to look at the most recent ones, but I popped into your video game. You were playing Quake or something. You were shooting or fighting somebody. And I talked in your live stream, but I guess you couldn't see the chat. It was EverQuest, yeah. Like, there was a Q in there, Quake. I don't know. I don't see it right away. Yeah, I was in there for about 10 minutes or so, and then I think supper. I was doing supper. Because I think it was like supper time. They said that the Mexican vanilla extract is stronger than what we got in the... Yes. Drive down Nogales. Yes. Same with the Caribbean. So I was told to get the extract in Dominican. So when I got some for free. And it's a white one, so I can use it for stuff that you don't want the color for. Yes, it is possible to add to. Well, in baking, I'm unsure. And my garlic powder, I need to get a big jar for it. Woohoo! 8 thumbs up! Okay. That's all. Oh, that's my seasoning mix. I didn't write on it. I'm awful at labeling. I'm like, what's this? I don't know which seasoning mix. I don't know, it tastes good. Do the Scarecrow game afternoons and go request at night. All the kids are playing characters grouping with me, and we started at scratch. Okay, cool. And do you use OBS? my nose still going crazy from the chili. Awesome. And are you at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? I set it only to show that up, but the chat is on my screen. I just get really busy and don't notice it. Okay. So how do you, if I was playing a game on my computer, how do you set that to be a live stream? Is it through OBS? I haven't tried it yet, so that's what I've heard that is what you use, but because I think that would be kind of new, of either doing stuff of me showing on, yes, no game on Tuesday and Friday. I'm usually at the farm those days. Okay. Cool. Oh yeah, I was getting a jar. I'll be right back. My nose crazy. I'm getting some jars for my garlic powder and my lemon pepper. I love the garlic powder, the powdery stuff, versus granular garlic. I just like it better. No, it's because I was brought up with it in powder form. I find it stronger too, more garlic. There we go. This OBS can be set to show individual application or show the whole screen. Okay. Ah, yes. Well, I usually put in a bun. Yeah, no, I took a bath last night and I washed my hair, so it's really curly. And I put the really good conditioner in it, and that's why it's really curly. Yes, like yesterday, my hair I had to brush it out because it was all like I had it in buttons. Today it's nice and cool. I actually turned off my AC. Don't tell my husband. Open the patio door window. Because it's actually cooler outside than inside right now. Save on some money. I have to make sure the AC is on tonight. You mean like try and grab the sides here and pull it back? Yeah, I sometimes do that. Well, if my hair is really thick too, so right here it's always warm. So yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Now I'm doing some lemon pepper. Love this stuff. I usually get it in the bulk section again. Another one that's really good to get in bulk because it's cheaper. That I only paid, I think, $1 for the bag. Like anything with salts and stuff that are heavy, like this, like peppers, they tend to be more expensive in bulk, like than the herbs like parsley. Anything leafy, you definitely get there because it's per 100 grams. Leaves don't weigh anything. Like I think my sage cost like 31 cents. So lemon pepper. So you can write on it, and it doesn't wipe off. On the jar, it wipes off with water, and it'll push. So just in case I repurpose the jar for something else. Like I do that with my flour. I fill them all up when I buy big bags of flour. But then as I'm using them, I repurpose them for pickles or whatever. Where is my paprika? My 5-spice. I just used my 5-spice. I don't know. Oh, I should just combine my bay leaves. Bay leaves are another one to get at the bulk, because they literally weigh nothing. Like I think this amount cost me like 20 cents, while when I bought the bag, because I needed it for something else another time, this cost $1. And if you get it in a jar, you're paying more than that. I just need a lid. Funny, I prefer the texture of the granulated garlic powder better than the... So I like the garlic bits, the garlic... like there's 3 types. There's like garlic bits, and then there's granulated garlic, which is like salt. And then the powder, which is like baking powder. I like the baking powder one myself. I think because I know how much to use of it in a recipe. Oh, that's not the right lid. Does that put me for this? No. There we go. Now. Oh, thank you, Donna. Onion powder. True, I have both, and I find like my onion powder that I bought, I have to get some more, but it gets solid, like it gets chunks. So I love getting the crispy onions for on top of soups and stuff. Just a little from the front pulled back can also give a little bit of height on top of that. Well, that's what I did last night. Was like I don't dry my hair and pull it back. So yeah. Give some height. But one thing I don't need is, I do definitely have body. So this is, I'm just writing on here, bay leaves. My bag of yeast, a pound of yeast, paid $4 for. They almost fill a quart jar that I put in my fridge or freezer. You could put in the freezer. If I had room in my freezer, I'd put it in my freezer probably. Oh, and that's smoked paprika. Heads out to work in a little while. Oh, yum. Biscuits. I haven't made biscuits in a while. See, I get sometimes these things like grill from Clubhouse and stuff. I don't get them when they're like $3 or $4. I get them when they're marked down or on sale for like $1.50 maybe, just to try them out. And then I can usually find a recipe to make it yourself and fill it the bottle. Or get at Bulk Barn. They can get Montreal steak spice and refill it there. I find the one at Costco is cheaper. Hey Puppy's Breath, how's it going? I'm just doing refilling my spice jars of things that I got in my Bulk Barn haul from last week that I finally got the video out today. Be right back. Yay, spices, yes. You missed the explosion of chili spice that went up my nose. That's still bothering me. And somehow, oh no. I'm losing my mind. Like always. I mean, I had lids. Now where'd my lid go? Oh yeah, and things like this. This is in my baking section. The baking glitter I bought for making some cookies or cakes and stuff. You pepper spray yourself. Yes, with chili powder. And I purposely washed my hands, and it's still kind of right here is like itching me. I don't want to scratch because of it. So, yes. So I'm going to need steak spice. Either from, I'll go Bulk Barn and top it up, or, because I noticed at Costco when I was there, it wasn't the keg steak spice, it was Montreal steak spice, and it was a smaller container. This was 1.1 kilogram, and I paid like $7 for it. Well, when I was pouring the chili powder, it was doing a chili powder cloud, and I breathed it in. So it's not too bad right now. You were here, we were chatting. But I'm gonna need steak spice soon. It's a combination of a recipe from the Alton Brown's recipe. Oh, I love Alton Brown. He is awesome. He is like, we watched his shows. You can download them. Yes, I have lots of seasonings and stuff that I have to use. Like, I'm not even... That's what I'm going to be using. This one. Because I've got lots of these packages already seasoned and stuff, so I'll be using a lot of those. Because some of them are old and need to be used up. So like 2-inch diameter. Cool. So you use like a bigger cutter. I picked up these cutters at like the dollar store. So on this side they're just circles, but on that side they're all bumpy. And so you could pick different size circles. Those are good for biscuits. The big ones. Little fist. Donut day. Ooh, yum. And how is that clean eating, Amanda? Or do you pick and choose what you think is clean eating? Sorry, I'm just bugging you. Cake flour instead of all-purpose. See, I don't buy the cake flour. Here, cake flour is expensive. Like, I can get 10 kilograms of regular flour, all-purpose flour, on sale for like $7. Maximum $8. Okay? Well, cake flour, I get like 1 kilogram for like $4. I'm like, it's just more processed or lighter or something, or mixed with something. I don't know what it is. But some almonds, some fresh. Oh, yum. Well, this is free. You get donuts every. Well, that's nice. Free is good. Free is always good. Second time I made them. I did all the previous plus half a cup of oatmeal, half a cup of applesauce. Made them. Awesome. That sounds wonderful. The Almond Brothers. I'll be right back. So, yes, Amanda works with budgeting stuff. That's all I know. If typing, I will dictate because it's faster. Yes. Well, autocorrect reads its ugly head when I type or when I talk, because sometimes I do not enunciate my words. Oh yeah. So when I made the pie crust to my pot pie that you saw what I eat, I used the vodka bottle because I couldn't find my rolling pin. So I'm like wiping off the flour off of it. Because I'm like, it's glass, it's round, multi-purpose. I wanted to put some. A donut cleanse. Just eat donuts. I'm sure it would cleanse your insides. See, I would have used it and then bought some more when I needed it. Because, well, frosting here is like $1. But you can also make frosting with icing sugar and a little bit of milk and vanilla and butter, I think. I'm trying to think what the recipe is. I'm a licensed loan officer, but currently work as an assistant. Cool. How come you work as an assistant versus as an officer? Black Thunder chocolate. I got clearance at the Asian market for $2.99. No, I don't have hunger. Little chocolate cookie flavor in there. Oh, okay. I don't want that just yet. Really? 100% commission? We don't have a lot of jobs here in Canada that are 100% commission. We have jobs that have a minimum wage plus commission. Oh my goodness, okay. Yes, I will have to. I swear my kitchen like explodes and like multiplies stuff. And not necessarily in a good way. Sometimes good way. That's funny. Yeah, I don't like 100% commission either. Especially if it's a low you're earning other people. Oh, so I noticed my thing was empty of the Brie Marcella, so I bought another bag. But I had one I just filled up this one, so now I've got lots of. I think I'm going to be having. I think stuff makes lids. So lids and bottoms for Tupperwares, they never match up. Even when I match them up, and I put they never match up. Socks, too. Socks are awful. That's why I like the summer. I don't have to wear them. Okay. Well, yeah, just buffered on here. Just a second. I don't know. Maybe because we're getting a storm. Maybe the internet's going weird. But it's what time is it? It's 11. Oh, it's 11:35. I should get going anyways. Um, because I have to be somewhere for noon. It's not very far. It's just over there, but I just realized what time it was. So thanks for staying with me while I'm organized and filled up my spice jars. Not completely done, but I have a huge start of that. Cold year-round. Oh, I hate socks. Beginning of March, I'm wearing my Crocs. I know, it's not fashionable, but they're comfy. So, I hate socks. I don't wear socks from March till November. October, November. Unless I have to. Unless it snows. Or if I'm going to the gym or something. Yes. Oops. Kind of like it's kind of like labeling stuff. Like this spice mix. I made this spice mix for something. It tastes really good, but I have no idea what it is because I either put a label on and it's worn off or something. So it'll taste good on meat, but I have no idea what it is, and I have. So have a great day. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time. Should go live tomorrow. Wednesday. Tomorrow around noon. I'm hoping to get together with Angie on Friday, I believe. So she made it to work on. She's supposed to start like I think 11:30 today. So she was on Monday for us to get together. She had lost her voice, so I would kind of get some masking tape. Well, I've been writing with my Sharpie. Like, see, the Sharpie works on in glass jars, but like I could wipe, but I guess over time you could, like, what you could get off with water and rub it. $5. Well, you can watch the replay, Amanda. So everything that needs closing. Yes. Well, have a great day. It's only I have to be there for. Well, I say 12, but just for myself, I'm supposed to be there 10 after 12. So I have plenty of time. It's only like 5 minutes away. So gotta go. Have a great day.